There are just certain stamps that you look at and they make you think, wow, I'd love to see what that would look like paper pieced. Paper piecing is an easy technique that makes your images pop off the page and gives your projects lots of dimension. Let me show you the tools and products that you're going to need to do paper piecing. You're going to need a black ink pad, and you're also going to need a rubber stamp that has a lot of open space in it. Usually stamps that are really good for coloring are also very good for paper piecing. You're going to need some pattern papers, and in this case I'm using 2 of the pattern papers that are in the new Eclectic Summer Stamp TV kit. You're also going to need some sort of adhesive or glue, so I'm using the dot and roller adhesive, and I'm also using a quickie glue pen. You're going to need a piece of white paper, and then in this particular case what I've done is I've stamped a quick sky background on here. I've used ink pads to create that, and if you would like to know how to do that, just watch the video on how to create a quick sky background. You're going to need good quality scissors. I love the Cutter Bee scissors for paper piecing because they can get into the smallest areas, they cut very close, and they're very sharp. Alright, to begin, I'm going to stamp my image, and in this case I'm using the balloon image. I'm going to stamp that on my quick sky background here. Stamped it once, and I'm going to stamp it a second time. So now I have 2 hot air balloons going up in the sky. Now I've already stamped this one other time, and I wanted to make sure that it was really dry before we started, so I'm going to use my dry one. And then you're also going to stamp that same balloon image on each of your pattern papers. Now you can do this with 2 patterns, you can do it with 10 patterns, it's totally up to you. So there, I've stamped it once on the orange one with the dots, and once on this one with the big swirls. Okay. Now, there's a couple different ways to paper piece. You can do it kind of an easier, quicker way, and that would be to cut out the image as one full image, and that's what I'm going to do first here. You'll see I'm cutting very close to the line of the balloon, just going around, right around the perimeter like that. Now it can be a little bit tedious to do this, but if you choose images that are nice and bold like this balloon, it's not too difficult to get around the image. You really kind of have to look at your stamp images and see which ones would be perfect for this technique. Okay. So there, now I've cut out my balloon. Now, the next step would be to take some of my adhesive and just check it to make sure that it matches up with the lines that are already there. Add some adhesive to the back of the balloon and put it right in the lines there. And now I have a beautiful paper pieced balloon. Now I've already stamped these 2 balloons just like this on another piece of paper, other pieces of paper, and I cut them out. So what I've done here is, as you can see, I've actually cut on every single one of these lines. Very simple to do because they're pretty much straight lines. But the reason why I've done that is because I want to show you another way to paper piece that looks really cool. With the Quickie Glue pen, there's a little protector on the tip that prevents the glue from drying out. Just pull that off. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to color each segment of the balloon one at a time. Get my glue right in there nice and tight. I'm going to pick up alternating strips and pop them into place. I'm going to do the next one. And now I'm going to use the second strip from my other patterned paper. Just pop that one on. So can you see how interesting this will become? And with the remaining strips, you can do a second balloon. So if I wanted to, I could have done one this way and then opposite on this one. Here's my next one. Oops. There we go. I've created a project using the alternating strips technique of paper piecing. And as you can see on my project, I've stamped one balloon using the bigger circles and another balloon using the smaller dot circles, the orange one. I've cut them all up and then I've alternated. So there's this piece and then that piece would be next, this piece. And you can see how by alternating them, you make both of your balloons very interesting. It's really a neat effect. Also, another little note on this card, you can see that right here in this section and on the basket and on the rim, it looks a little bit different. What I've done is I've taken a Sakura Stardust pen and I've added just a little bit of glitter in there to just make it shine like the sun was hitting it. All of the supplies that you see here on this card project are in the new Eclectic Summer Stamp TV kit. But when you're paper piecing, look through your collection of stamps and you'll see just how many of them will make perfect paper pieced projects.